Hi everyone, it's Aru from Arubakes, and this is my mini series where I answer a very important question: what to make for dinner. And today I have a very special guest. Come on in. This is my mother. And she's joining us because she absolutely loves salmon. Yesterday we had salmon for dinner. And that was just grilled salmon. So today I thought we will, amp things up a little bit and make a Salmon Wellington together. So let's get straight into it.
Okay.
To start things off, we need to take the salmon skin off. So for that, just gonna leave the salmon there. Get yourself a very sharp knife. And then we are just going to slide the knife under the skin like that. And then just slowly, very carefully, just remove the skin. You want to target the skin?
Okay.
You pull the skin out.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's for Kai. Should I do it?
yeah, just pop it there. Get some kitchen paper and pat your salmon dry so that you get rid of all of the moisture. Dry and you've gotten rid of all of the moisture, then let's season this. I'm just gonna pop it onto a plate. So we're gonna go in with a generous pinch of salt. You wanna go with the paprika? She doesn't cook off.
That's too much. Nice and spicy one.
And a generous pinch of garlic as well. Can you flip these over for me? And then salt the other side as well. I'll go in with the pap.
Not too much, you also say that.
Garlic. Okay, and then we leave this aside for it to kind of marinate and get all those flavors in there until we do the spinach and the crepes for this Wellington.
You don't have to sort of fork it in.
No need.
It's soft, no?
Yeah. Get a large pan heating on a medium heat. And then to this, we're going to add in a knob of butter and some olive oil. You want it in the olive oil? A good glug.
Safe in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Shall I start?
Yeah. And get that heating. Okay, so once it's melted kind of like that amount, we go in with the onion and the garlic. And then just let that cook until it is softened and almost translucent. Add in like a tiny pinch of salt. Just use your fingers and put little bit more than that. Yeah, no, that's enough. And then to this, I'm going in with a little bit of paprika just to bring in a little bit of heat. Okay, so the onions are looking nice and translucent and like soft now. So we'll go in with the spinach. Can you stir this? Okay, so this is wilted down to like nothing almost now. I'm just gonna hit this with a tiny bit more salt and let that cook a little bit more. So we're cooking this down until pretty much all of that water evaporates.
This spinach gets cooked now when you are cooking in the oven or whatever. So why do you keep it for so long?
Because we need to get rid of all of the water and the moisture so that the pastry doesn't get soggy.
Right. Otherwise, it's cooked
very
well.
Okay, so now this is cooked. I'm just going to turn the heat off and leave this to cool down while we make the batter for the crepes. Okay, so now while our spinach is cooling down, let's make the batter for the crepes. First things first, I'm going to leave this here so that our bowl doesn't move around. To this, Ma, can you pour in the milk into the jug? Thank you. And crack in 2 eggs. You want a knife? See, she uses a knife to crack eggs as well, not just me. It's very easy. I'll get her to do all the work. Thank you. To this, I am adding in just a pinch of salt. And I kind of really want to drive home that garlicky taste, so I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic powder to the crepe batter as well. Maybe about a teaspoon. And then we give it a whisk. Oh, wait, we forgot something. Into this, I will also add some melted butter. Yeah, can you whisk that? And then add the flour into the bowl.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. And just trickle this in while I whisk. Put more. Have to make sure there are no lumps of flour.
You can do it in an electric beater.
You can. It's just another thing to wash. I'll work out. Okay, add the rest of that in. So, yeah, so this is the consistency we are looking for, this kind of watery, because we're making crepes, so we want it to be nice and thin. That is looking good. Let's pour that back in here. Okay, so now we are going to mix the spinach with some cream cheese. Can you put the spinach in there? So this cream cheese, I kept it out of the fridge for about half an hour so that it's kind of nice and soft and pliable like this. I'm just gonna add that in there. To this, I'm adding in a little bit of Dijon mustard. Now, if you have some whole grain, that would be a better mustard to add in, but we didn't have any at home. So we're going in with about half the quantity of Dijon. So about a teaspoon of Dijon, but if you have whole grain mustard, add about 2 teaspoons in, and then just mix that well. Do you want me to do it?
It's not mixing.
Okay. Just mix it through just so that you don't get like chunks of cheese. You just want it to kind of coat all of the spinach like that. Okay, do you want to taste some? No?
Good.
Yeah. Set that aside and let's make the crepes. So you get a pan heating on a medium heat until it's quite warm. I am going to go in with a knob of butter. Just grease this up. Then just pour in a little bit of that. And move it around so that you get it as thin as possible.
Smaller.
Yeah. Smooth that around. Yeah. That's as good as it's gonna get. And then once this is kind of cooked on this side, flip it over and cook the other side. And repeat this. So the second pancake is definitely looking better than the first one. You know what they say about the first pancake? Okay, let that cook a little and take it out. Just repeat until you finish the batter. Okay, well, so now our salmon has been marinating, our crepes are done, our spinach mix is done, and we have store-bought puff pastry. This is the key to it, you guys, because nobody has time to sit and make puff pastry at home. Can you crack the egg into the bowl and beat that for me? She runs like a whole bakery, you guys, but she doesn't actually cook. So now we are going to roll out the puff pastry. Put a generous amount of flour on your work table and a bit of flour on top of your pastry. And then roll this out. So I left this out of the freezer in the fridge for a little while for it to kind of defrost a little. You don't want it like fully defrosted because then it's hard to handle. But that initial bit is a little bit hard to roll.
It's quite hard.
Yeah. If you can get ready roll puff pastry, that's even better. Makes life so much easier. So you want to roll it out to kind of that size so that it's a little bit bigger than your salmon. And then we are going to line this with a couple of the crepes like that, and then leave the salmon like this. Mother got distracted by a phone call. Top that with about half of this mixture that we made and save the other half to put on top of the other piece of salmon. So Ma, now that you're back from your phone call,
Yes.
so we put the crepe, we put the salmon, we put half of the spinach mixture and covered the top. So just cover this like that. Trim off some of this excess. And then pop it there. So a little bit there. All right, so this kind of seals in all of the spinach and the salmon so that none of the moisture kind of makes the pastry soggy. Then I'm just gonna trim this a little bit. And I'm gonna brush on just a little bit of the egg there so that the pastry nicely sticks to it. Fold that over. And just a little bit more egg so that the pastry sticks to each other. And then fold that. Ooh. No, we can manage, no problem. And then kind of paste that together. And then seal this in again. 1 second. So use your fingers and just kind of seal that like that so it doesn't open out. Anyway, this gets flipped over and this goes to the bottom. Use your hands like that and seal the sides. Again, I'm gonna add just a little bit more egg there and there. Cut off the excess and seal this up like this. Because this looks like it doesn't want to stay shut, I'm gonna put in a little strip of pastry just to hold everything together. Okay, that's looking good. And now get yourself some cling film and just tightly wrap that up. From both sides, you want to tighten it. This side as well. Just gonna do one more round this way as well. Just so that everything kind of seals up nicely. Done. And this goes in the fridge now to set for at least an hour. But what we are going to do is we're just going to keep it in the fridge. And then in the evening, when we're ready to eat, we will brush some egg wash and pop this in the oven. Done. Thank you for your help, Mother.
My pleasure.
Preheat your oven to 180 Celsius. Get yourself a baking pan and then line it with some parchment paper. And this Salmon Wellington has now been chilling in the fridge for about 3 hours. Just 1 hour is plenty for it to kind of rest and chill and firm up. But we made this in the morning, cooking it for dinner tonight. Unwrap it, and then we're going to put seam side down on the baking sheet. This is the leftover egg from when we kind of pinched everything together and sealed it up. I've kept that in the fridge as well. I'm going to use the same egg to just brush on top of our pastry. Give it a good brush. This is what helps you get that nice golden, flaky, beautiful pastry as it bakes up. Make sure to do the sides as well so that it kind of bakes everything up beautifully. Get yourself a sharp, pointy knife and then just make a couple of incisions like this. This helps the steam that builds up while this is baking just to release so that it cooks through a lot better. And then into the oven this goes to bake up until it's beautifully golden, flaky and delicious. This has been in the oven now for about 20 minutes. It's starting to look beautifully golden. I'm just going to turn it around so that it gets an even bake and then just let it bake through. Ooh, this is starting to look really nice now. Stick that in the middle. Okay, so we are at about 55, 56 degrees Celsius. That means it's done cooking. So we can take this out, but I'm just going to leave it in for a couple of minutes more just to brown up really nicely. Wow, look at this, you guys. This was in the oven for about 35, 40 minutes. 30 of that was at 180 degrees Celsius. And then for the last kind of 7-8 minutes, I increased the heat to 200 just to get a little bit more color. And now I'm just going to let this rest for about maybe 10-15 minutes before we cut into it. I'll cut in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moment of truth. Ooh.
But if the
I think he was upside down. No, the thing is supposed to be the other way around. The spinach is supposed to be on top. Oops.
no,
Bon appetit!
Can we use any other fish?
Yeah, it can
be. While we are cooking it down.
Oh.